Shit, man. Backtesting every day on some profile. Day 395. 4:30 a.m. What am I doing? Gonna do 40 minutes today. I was just watching YouTube, this entire evening. With a friend on Discord as well. Yeah. Just postponing the backtesting, man. Like, if I wasn't supposed to backtest, then I would be asleep like a long, like already a few hours ago, of course. But yeah, just postponing it too much. Right now, I'm watching this video. It's being fed a choice, and then this discussion. And before I was watching the Kurt, what's he called? Charlie Kirk video, like him talking to some students, some woke students. Also very interesting. Rest in peace, Charlie. Yeah, I can't find the video, but yeah, also very interesting. It's like people talking about like giving their opinions and all that. And then yeah, it's being fed a choice, is it? If I give my opinion about it, there are some very rare cases which like people are like not fed by choice, or are fed not by choice. But yeah, I think so. I think for the most people, being fed is a choice, not like a choice they would like actively think about, but yeah, it is somewhat of a choice. How do you think about it? Obviously, I can know what you're thinking, or something else. On this stream, I have the live chat also disabled, so yeah, if you're watching this in the future, think about it. Like, what's your opinion? And yeah, I'd like to know your opinion, but yeah, I can't really know it. If you're watching this in the future, feel free to DM me on Discord or respond to this video. Love to know your opinion about it. Yeah, like I just want to watch the video on the side and then just do my thing, backtest. And hopefully the 40 minutes are over soon, and then I'll just go to sleep. Just a chill session today. 9th of May. Alright, so let's see. Yeah, so I'm just gonna turn the video back on again. Okay, what I will do actually is I will add it to my screen so you guys can watch with me. I'm going to be looking on the side, but so I'm going to do a window capture. There, right there. Alright, so this is what I'm watching. What is this? Alright, I don't know if this is annoying, if it's right there. I'll just do like here or something. So you can watch with me. Alright, I think that's fun. Yeah. Alright, so let me just turn that video on, and
capacity in
I'll
general
do my thing.
is that our bodies are good bodies. What we do with our bodies is what matters.
Just watching random things on YouTube.
To me, because for a guy like you, or a guy like the two of you, might suffer from body dysmorphia, and that's a very real thing. You might not see yourself for what you really are, and so you're seeking unhealthy habits to achieve a goal. To get where you want to go, like you just gotta give it time. Be healthy in all aspects, like mentally, physically. You've got to find the right avenue to do what it is that you need to do for yourself.
The body composition, science, it's fatter or slimmer. It's all a scam. The reality is that big pharma wants money, and they understand that when you're fat, you have mental health problems. They understand that you're going to need insulin, you're going to need medication, etc. And they make a bunch of money on us being sick. There is no incentive to actually have you be healthy. So let's go ahead and make our people fat as hell. Get them in the hospitals, get them on medication, continue to make money, etc. It's all good stuff.
So you believe it's all intentional?
Yes. We promote mediocrity.
I feel like it's a subset. Yes, I'm sitting here because I do think that there is a part of it that is problematic. But I think that the problematic part of it is a subset of people that use it as a tool to weaponize whatever it is that they're doing.
I think the whole movement is a problem. The movement in general is a problem. All of it.
So you shouldn't feel positive even about your own, like for you, for instance,
Well,
right?
I think you haven't earned, here's the thing, being happy and content with yourself, it's not given, it's earned. You have to go out there, work, and then you're going to feel that satisfaction, like, I earned that.
So at what point do you earn it though?
When you can look back in the mirror and actually, genuinely, not coping, respect the man that you see before you. And the reality is, people are going to realize that you're going to need to achieve a certain physique, because you have all these stuff, I love my body. No, it's a lie. You're just coping, you're lying to yourself, and now all these people on Instagram and TikTok with the body positivity movement are lying to themselves. They're not happy where they want to be. They just accept that because they're too lazy to make a change.
No, but I genuinely do love my body.
Right now, as you are?
Yeah.
Then why are you going to
And
the
I'll
gym?
explain to you.
Then why are you going to the
I
gym?
will explain it to you. I love everything that my body is capable of doing. I love the fact that at my size, I can do a lot of things that other people smaller than me still cannot do.
But you want to lose weight?
And yeah, right.
Which is good.
I want to lose weight because I love my body, but I have one body. Why would I not love it? And because I love my
But you
body
understand
is
that your
why
body
I'm
now needs to
looking to
change.
make changes.
Yeah.
Right?
Change.
But to say that loving your body is BS, no, you make changes, you make healthy changes to yourself because you love yourself. All of that time that I'm putting in, the work, the money that I'm spending, that's a labor of love because I love myself enough to know that I want to make some changes to live a better lifestyle in the sense of I can just do a little bit more.
All right, let's bring in our disagreeers.
So it's not a single problem.
Oh no, I'm not saying it's not a single problem. To me, body positivity is more about bodily autonomy. Like you were mentioning wanting to lose weight. My whole thing is like, yeah, it's your body. Do whatever you want with it. I don't think I, as a human being, have a right to tell any of you what to do with your bodies. Body positivity kind of comes in and goes, okay, you as a human being have inherent value. Just in the fact that you are a conscious soul on this planet, you have an inherent value. You are within a vessel of your body that you do have control over, but at the same time, you're not less valuable to society or from the standpoint of the soul for what your body looks like.
When I'm speaking about body positivity, I'm talking about the over-acceptance and encouragement of being obese.
So I personally, again, I'm not super online, have not seen anybody pro-obesity ever. There's a bunch. She loves herself.
Avocado.
No. There's a big difference.
Actively promoting obesity.
She's not telling anyone to get fat.
She's showing you exactly how to do it and saying, look at my body as I love and rub it and giving it life. And she's like joking around.
And
that's
also, I
the whole thing.
clarify, see, here's the thing, there's a bunch of fat influencers that push this body positivity situation, and a bunch of them are dead. No one talks about that. That didn't hit mainstream news.
So I'm in that space.
Yeah.
Which influencers are you talking about? 'Cause
I don't recall their names, but there's a couple of them that passed away. They're YouTubers. They used to do these mukbangs where they eat a bunch of food on camera.
That's totally different.
okay, that's a
They're not a
mukbang.
part of our community. That's
Yeah.
a completely different thing. We're not saying we're gonna go to a restaurant and pig out just because it's entertaining or anything like that. There are people that they're called eaters, that their whole like lifestyle, their fetish and things like that revolves around gaining weight.
Yeah, and I understand that you're saying that that's not a component to the
It's
body
not-
positivity movement, but
it's
you
not
got to
a part
understand
of
for the general masses, they're watching that, they're going to attribute it to that. They're not in the niche, they're not a creator, so they're not looking at it like, no, this person just a gluttonous person. No, they look at everyone who's obese, that's making content about being obese and continuing that lifestyle as part of the body
But they're
positivity
not
movement.
making content about being obese. They're making content about overeating,
Yes, and they
which is also
encourage
an
that.
eating disorder.
Yeah, and they also encourage being fat as well.
Do you think just being in a fat body and being in the public space encourages obesity, just flat out?
Yes.
So just
agree.
us existing, we're saying,
Yes.
yay, everyone go gain weight?
It absolutely impacts other people to think, well, think of it, you're 6'6",
I've never
good looking, you're
looked at- I know,
modeling,
but I've
it's going to
never
encourage
looked at
other people to, well, hey, look at him, he's got
So
lots
then
of...
what about when I
I've
go
never
to the
looked
gym?
at-
When I step into the gym, or when Zach steps into the gym, or when any of us step into the gym, are we promoting being bigger like that too? Are we going there and is our presence there unwanted?
By being famous, rich, popular, and being obese, you're indirectly promoting it in the same way that people who take steroids and are 350 pounds of muscle winning Mr. Olympia are indirectly promoting it even if they don't say they're taking it.
But I'm speaking more specifically in the gym, in that space where people should be coming together to work on their bodies and stuff like that. If you saw us in the gym,
I would be happy and proud and excited, and my whole channel is about helping people who are overweight to lose weight and have realistic expectations. I would never say you have to look like this, you need abs. It's just, let's go halfway there. That's my entire channel, of which I have over 2 million followers. It's all about realistic goals and helping people overweight to lose weight. That is what my channel is all about.
but we're in public, and you made the statement that if we step out in public, that it would encourage people to live an unhealthy lifestyle.
The more friends you
be
have who are
obese.
overweight, the more likely you're going to be overweight. It just happens to happen. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm not going to pretend it doesn't. If 90% of the world were overweight, more people would be encouraged to be overweight.
As just on this side, I don't think any of us have ever looked at a person heavier than ourselves and gone, I want to be that. That's a great thing to be. No, we have the same internalized biases as everybody else does. He was bringing up the gym before, and you said by existing just in a fat body, we are promoting it. I model, and when I do model fitness wear, which I do often, I get so many comments about like, oh, you are promoting obesity. I'm wearing fitness wear. I'm in the gym. I'm doing the thing you want me to do, and I'm still promoting obesity?
If you're exercising and you're trying to lose weight, then you're promoting people who are overweight to try to lose weight. That's great. But if you're Lizzo and rubbing your
I'm
belly,
promoting, I mean, I don't know shit about Lizzo.
Typically about influencers that promote gluttonous, lethargic lifestyles, which a bunch of them do. That's what we're talking about. If you're in the gym and you're fat and you're getting after and you're documenting that, that's fantastic.
I'm not-
The problem with body positivity, and you're talking about influencers who promote gluttonous lifestyles,
Yes.
and that again is not body positivity.
So that's why the general masses don't have that distinction, though.
I do think we have a good read, though, on how individuals see the body positivity movement. All right, the next prompt is, I am satisfied with my sex life. Agreeers, step forward. I have abused my body. Will the agreeers step forward?
I'll start by saying I've abused my body many times. Being a bodybuilder, professional bodybuilder, I've abused steroids, did that for over 10 years. I don't think you can get to the level that you have to get to be a professional bodybuilder while being natural. And so, absolutely. And I would say that somebody trying to abuse steroids to get that muscle, to get that look, is just as unhealthy as somebody who's obese. So I don't try to be a hypocrite. I say I've done these poor choices. I'm 48 now. I don't do steroids anymore. And so I recognize that what I did in the past was bad, probably took years off my life. And so I would say to people who are overweight, why don't you do the same thing? And if you're not, then do you really care about your health? Because if you do, you would stop doing the things that are leading to being morbidly obese.
He doesn't do anymore.
Reminded me you spent 10
I thought it
years
was.
doing something you knew was inherently unhealthy. Right. But then you're gonna turn around and tell people that
What?
just wake
I
up.
think
Yes, exactly. Like people should have told me, Greg, why
No way, Greg is natural now.
not recognize what's going to happen, and if we call it
Or like you're never natural anymore,
why
but
are you using steroids, Greg? Think of it. Think of the years you're taking off your life, and maybe out of weight.
But the power was in your own awakening, right? The power right there was in your own awakening to realize within yourself change hard, right? And that change is now consistent. That change is now something that you can give a testimony about and help other people change their ways or persuade people to just do it at all, right?
But building on what you said, what was the moment, where you perspective shift?
Well, I got old enough and realized I can't get any better at this. I can keep taking more and more drugs and try to sustain this, but I said it's not worth it anymore. So I had to completely change my mind around what I was doing, which was being judged on my appearance. And remember, I make money on how I look, and so that's going to have a huge impact on me. And I had to say, I need to get my dopamine, my self-worth from something else. So I quit doing all the bodybuilding competitions, and I said, I'm going to start riding bikes. I'm going to learn Spanish. I'm going to do something else where I can feel good about myself. And it's hard. Like, look at this guy, 200 pounds of muscle. 20 years from now, is he going to want to still be this size? He might look back and say, maybe regret certain things. And I think if somebody's overweight, they're going to think the same things. Like, if you're 400, 500, 600 pounds, you're going to think, is it worth doing this? Is it worth eating all the time? It's tough.
I think this is the first actual middle ground I think we're finding, which is really great because it's true. I mean, I've been harmful to myself on both sides of the spectrum. There are times I was taking 20 to 30 diet pills and laxatives a day, eating less than 400 calories a day, working out nonstop. And then there's the other times where I was eating way too much, smoking way too much, drinking way too much, and abusing my body in the other way. I think we all come to the realization of what we're doing is harmful in different ways at different times. Like, it took you 10 years to come to realize that was harmful. My thing is sometimes it takes people who might be overweight or, at that high tier, that 500-600 pounds, to realize that it's harmful for them. And maybe in their life they don't feel like it's harmful. And they're happy. There are people, believe it or not, legitimately happy in certain
Ignorance
sizes and
is
shapes.
bliss. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
I was happy at the moment.
But
I
why
felt
is
like
there
it was.
bliss?
Ignorance is bliss, but you could die before you wake up.
But you
You
could have
die
done the
before
same
that
thing
happens.
taking steroids. That's my
Exactly. I
point.
could have died doing what I did, and so is it not my responsibility to tell people, don't copy me, and for there not be somebody who's,
And I don't think there's
500
anything wrong
pounds
with that.
to do the same thing.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Even when you said before, we were like, well, I wish someone had shamed me saying, what are you going to do? You're going to kill yourself. That's not shaming to me. To me, that is compassion. You're looking out for something. It's when you take it to the other level where you start insulting them, degrading them, making them feel like shit.
As
That
men,
doesn't...
we insult each other and shame each other, but it's as a friend. Like, this is what guys do. Girls don't do it. They all suck up to each other. You're all tens. Guys are like, look at your gut, look at your belly.
I know, that's why.
No, it's important to
I'm telling you what they do.
the masculine from the feminine because it's guys talking here, and I think it's important to distinguish when something is feminine to say, well, we don't adhere to that.
Yeah, but there's been no shortage of generalizations on women in this episode so far, and I'm really, really curious about your answer to this prompt regarding self-abuse, like bodily abuse.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a lifetime natural. I've never taken a drug before in my life. However, I was an athlete in college, and obviously when you're a Division I athlete, you train two to three times a day. It was very, very intensive. I would train through injuries, which wasn't intelligent, but at the end of the day, I looked at it like, hey, we got to win. We got, some teams to beat this season, so it built mental fortitude. I think abuse is good to a degree if you're able to overcome it and learn something from it.
I did a lot of stupid things. Like, I broke the world record in the bench press, and now I can't bench press anymore. And it was my favorite lift. I've had hip operations. I have both elbows reconstructed. I trained too hard. I couldn't stop myself. All that pressure, desire, whether it was installed by myself or from others, to try to fit in, to be socially accepted. And I was addicted. I was bench pressing with shoulder pain. I should have stopped. I couldn't. And so, I set the record, and it's done. I can't even lift anymore. I don't squat, bench, or deadlift. Because look at Ronnie Coleman. You guys know Ronnie Coleman? He's in a wheelchair. He can hardly walk. He's on pain medications. And imagine putting your body through all that torture, and then you get in your 60, and now you can't do anything.
So one question I have for you then is, knowing what you did obviously has allowed you to create this platform to speak to these things, to talk about steroid abuse. You understand all the intricacies. Do you think that you would have been able to do that, let's say, if you kept your natural status throughout your whole career, you didn't break world records, you weren't an IFBB pro, you didn't have all of those accolades to stand on, do you think you would still be Greg Doucette and have all the following you do?
I do not think so. I think I'm one of those 1 in a million cases that was able to do what I do and actually got the success that I got. But if I look back and I'm really honest with myself, I regret doing these things. I was natural world champion and I was breaking world records natural, so I had the records, but I wanted more. I wanted more glory. I wanted more people to say, you're cool, we like you. And so I ended up taking steroids. I did that because I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be sponsored. I wanted a pro card. I wanted to be famous. And it worked. At what cost, though? How healthy am I really?
Everything it is that you're saying, right? I don't feel any ounce of like shaming you for it. everything that you said is really important to acknowledge that and to know that and to then share that, right? But the difference is that like had someone show you, I don't think that you'd feel the same way about it. Instead, people poured life into you and told you like, hey, I don't think that this is right. I don't think that you should really keep doing this because it's doing no
The
harm.
opposite happened. I was rewarded. When I started getting popular on social media, I was talking about my steroid cycles, I was talking about what I've done, and they're like, look at your muscles, look at your chest, and it was like, you know how hard it was to stop? Because I was being rewarded with dopamine, with people saying nice things about me all the time, and for me to stop, I know that my views on social media go down. If I went on a steroid cycle right now, people are gonna follow, wow, Coach Greg, you're back, we miss the old Coach Greg. And so it's hard for me to be the 48-year-old old man that's still preaching fitness when they say we love the old Coach Greg, the jacked muscle freak, and I have to fight the urges not to use steroids every single day. Because I know I would look better, I know I would feel better, but I'm like, it's not healthy, and so I have to say no.
I get what you mean about the dopamine reward thing, because for me, I have a similar situation, but kind of in the opposite way. Every time I start slimming down, I start getting the, what are you doing? Why are you losing weight? Because I am in that large guy space. So it's like, it's very funny how much on both sides, outward opinions, just like really, really just make what we do hard. I know that when I am doing more cardio, I'm like a big hiker and biker, and sometimes in the summer I'll slim down, but then all of a sudden I'll get a ton of comments from people just being like, we liked you heavier, we liked you this. I'll have clients that'll stop using me because I've gotten too small. And so it's, you're kind of seeking that dopamine, that approval, but also that.
What is this? Break even though, but.
Doing things that you know aren't good for yourself.
I wanted to hear from you, just going back to the prompt, why you came forward.
Oh, I mean, I think obviously professional bodybuilding has its risks. Obviously, I try to mitigate them as much as possible. I work with a company that I'm doing blood work through, quarterly every 3 months. I am very, very methodical with what I do, and I'm very, very on the mild side. You'd be surprised, but I've been training for 20 plus years. I think that's the key for me. I would say, like being this size, 100% not healthy. Is it unfortunate that I am very passionate about something that is bodybuilding? Yeah, it's kind of like I fell into it. I love it. It's hard for me, but I made a decision with my wife that at age 35, that's it. I'm done. Like no more competitive bodybuilding. I have an understanding, but like Greg, I have the foresight to know like there has to be a limit to it. Because if you just let it go, I would have to be probably 25 more pounds of muscle and like have to do things that I'm not willing to do in order to be like, let's say Mr. Olympia, right? So, because all the way through my 20s, I was close to like 230 pounds, natural all the way until I was like 27 and a half. So, hopefully I'll be okay going back to that size.
Do you use steroids correctly?
I mean, I use.
That's the biggest insult in the world right now.
No. I only ask because, again, we're on the topic of body abuse, right? So I'm only asking that in that realm because of what you said about it. I'm not asking that.
No, it's kind of like it's just
or
like
anything
when
like
you're
that.
jacked like that and you said you use steroids, it's like you think you can look like this natural. Like if I said, hey, are you on steroids? Look at that body. If I said, you look like you're on steroids.
Yeah, people think you're on gear, it's a compliment.
If I say, obviously you're natural, they'd be like, what do you mean, obviously? No, obviously.
So yes, I'm against.
It's literally just like the question that I have, but it's also just like, well, what do you do as you're progressing in that to get to the points that you want? So that's where that question stems from, and I also really appreciate your candor for that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's. I will 100% say like some of the best shape of my life was natural in my 20s, like very lean, probably my healthiest. Like if anybody tells you they're like an IFBB professional bodybuilder, it's almost 99% of them are in some capacity enhanced. It might be very minimally, it might be through the roof, like you wouldn't even believe what they're taking, but it's there. It's part of the sport. It's unfortunate, but like that's the problem. That's one of the problems we talked about earlier with the fitness industry. Is like that's the expectation.
Let's bring our disagreement.
Good job not abusing yourself.
Yeah, so I took abuse as like doing things as negative for your health, and for me, I always approach fitness from a health kind of lens, right? Like Myron, I'm 100% natural. I'm never gonna look like Eric. I'm never gonna look like Greg, but it's something I'm content with. For me, I'm kind of in for long term. I want to be able to do what I do, 60, 70, 80, 100, focusing more on the health aspect of it. Can be a good middle ground. So I feel like if you're looking from the outside in, sometimes it can be like, dude, how am I
also acknowledge that like there's abuse on both spectrums, right? Like you can be a fat ass on one end and say I'm going to just continue to eat cheeseburgers and put on TikTok, and then there's the other side where you can, you know, use performance enhancing drugs and I'm going to step on stage. But I would make the argument that the person that is training, using PEDs, etc., I'd respect that individual more than the fat ass, and the reason why is because though it isn't healthy to be on performance enhancing drugs, you're still pushing your body to a level that most can't, versus by just being fat that doesn't take any skill or dedication. So
What
if
if
I
the
had
fat
to,
person is doing something like, maybe they're into quantum physics, maybe they're changing the way we view the world entirely? Are they not valuable because they're not shredded?
well, again, we're talking about the purpose of you know, abusing your body. I have more respect for the bodybuilders.
Okay.
And I think society would enlarge as well, which is why bodybuilders that, you know, like a Ronnie Coleman, etc., though he is disabled now, etc., he's a legend and he's going to go down in history.
Yeah, but I actually thought that was a good question. You know, like what a great film director who's like very overweight and like just totally poured into their craft. You know, like is there respect for someone like that?
Well, that's great because he's able to do something exceptional, right? And he's able to diversify himself from the general masses, right? But will people know that when they meet him, that he's a famous director, unless he's very prominent? But yeah, there's exceptional people that are fat in certain regards, but we're talking about body abuse here. I'm just saying in general, I would have far more respect for the professional bodybuilder
Than
using
like
PEDs
Peter Jackson
versus
making multiple like
versus the fat ass.
award-winning films,
Was that-
like Lord of the Rings.
Exceptional happening.
But some guy like taking PEDs is better
There's two
than that?
different things, sorry.
No, sorry, I'm legitimately curious.
Yeah.
You have guy using PEDs on one side trying to do stuff, and then you do have like Peter Jackson, Lord of the Rings,
That's
multi-Academy
why I was very
Award.
explicit to say I'm talking about the fat influencers.
Yeah,
So like
yeah,
I'm
okay.
talking in that context. Like if you're
Maybe
gonna have
okay,
abuse of your
maybe
body on two different ends, right? One extreme is a bodybuilder, the other is a fat influencer. I think me and most of society would have far more respect for the
I think he's going to
bodybuilder.
respect
I
the
think-
hardworking billionaire.
I understand that, but I also think that like if someone's abusing themselves in any way, there should be some empathy and like rather than just being like you're a better abuser to yourself than that person.
Fitness culture can be toxic. Agree or step forward?
Here we all are again.
Hey, let's hear from the Jack guys.
100%. I think you can perpetuate so many themes that are so unhealthy. Like there's so many images online of people that post in like the best lighting with the pump. That is the societal norm of like what's good, and it even like affects me because I'll see people and I'm like, oh, I look like garbage compared to that. I think that right now it's like there's a lot of misinformation online when it comes like how to get fit, how to stay in shape, and a lot of people are monetizing it. These like crazy fad diets, like you can't eat certain things, carbs are bad, fruit has sugar in it, so it's going to make you fat. So like now food is almost being weaponized and then to be monetized so that you buy their ebook to tell you the exact secret code in order to lose weight. So fitness is an industry, right? So people are incentivized to say whatever that is to make money. And so it's been harder for me as a coach that takes a more holistic approach to wellness and fitness and saying, hey, it's all about balance. And like Greg's the same way. I watch a lot of his videos. That is the correct approach to like making a plan that's not super restrictive. So I think that's why the fitness industry, even being part of it, like is frustrating because there's so much misinformation.
I would say also that there's so much pressure to look.
Okay, I want to check something. Bro, it doesn't even work. Alright, so I want to check here. Okay. Hello. Oh wait, here. Wait, what? Oh, my entry should have, or my stop should have been there. It's fine. Alright, so here. There was this trade. That is my setup, but I did think about this before. Closure above. This low, yeah, some sort of equal lows inside of the gap. Closure above. And then right there is where I'll be break even, but you can see we never tapped that. Closure above was here, but instant drop lower. This looks like a terrible trade, and why is it terrible? Like, I've seen this before already, but like, now I would just want to look at my data and then see, okay, what objective rule can I make for this for me not to take it, because my trade is always objective, or 99% of the times it's an objective trade. So how I decide if it's a trade or not, it has to be minimum of 0.5 R, where the point I go, where to the point where I go break even. So this is the point. If this gets hit, then I'll go break even. I track my tool inside of the IVG. And then from here to there, okay, 0.83R. Okay, so technically this is then a valid trade. But I'm looking at this because it looks terrible. But why does it look terrible? And how can I change it? When it's the same thing here, stop loss at the low. When it's a external high where I should be breaking, this is external because this was already taken. Like here. Oh wait, no. Oh yeah, this high is here, and yes, that was already taken. So the external high is then in this case here external. When that's below a 101, then I don't even take the trade out. I just want to see, okay, that's just what I like. Okay, that's just something I just made up, but I want to check, okay, can I see that in the trades before as well? So it's not external high. Or it is actually, because in that range. But this might be a 1-1, or no, I just tested this actually. That's this one. Oh no, it's a different one. Okay, wait. So here, you can see this is an L. I put this thing on there, and then this extra has to be minimum 1-1, which it is 1.37. So okay, that's just a valid loss then. But maybe I can make it even different. Maybe I could make it 0.75, or I have no idea. I just want to see, like, okay, how can I avoid these losses? Because it does look like these losses are kind of a bit the same. But I also don't want to change it that the W's that I take that do look like these losses, then that I won't take those W's anymore. So you have to be really careful with what you really adjust, and let's be data behind it. Yeah, this is very valid loss because the external high is there. It's a very unfortunate stop out. Can't do anything about this. Was that this? Yeah. Alright, 2 L's on this day. Is the external high? No. Took 2 trades in this exact same range. Looks pretty good because here we had an SMT. This low inside of the gap. Higher time frame is then bullish. Nice reaction higher. Still doesn't change here. Okay, so those losses can't avoid. I just want to look at like a type of trade like this one. It's also different. It's not break even. No, it might be perfect. Lined up there. Oh shit, this might be a losing trade that should have been break even. Why? Because I'm going break even here on this line, because there's an open inefficiency here, and then that candle, that's this candle, I think. Yeah, it's definitely this candle, and that did get hit, so it should have not been a loss. All right. And I can just copy this. Unfortunate stop loss exactly to the tick. Very, very unfortunate. What about this? Nothing here. Also unfortunate stop loss. Yeah, I actually want to count my losses and W's in London as well. Let's count those very quick. 1W, 2W, 3, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 7, 4, 7, 4. All right. Yeah, so I am gonna write this down, or make it into like a template and talk about this. Alright. That's important, keep it there. Alright, so gonna end the session here. May going well so far, took 1 loss. And yeah, can continue this tomorrow. Thank you for watching if you were. Have a good day or a good night. And yeah, again, really appreciate if you were here. Thank you, see ya.